So we're going to do a tutorial on how to make Sailor Saturn's arm rolls. The ones that go at the end of her glove. So I guess they're the glove rolls. There's nice pretty white gloves. You always want to have, Sailor Saturn's original form has these little tips. He's the only one that does. Yay, she's special. So how to make them. I couldn't find a single person online who knew how to make them. So I'm going to show you guys how I did it. I took Sparkle Pipsy. Sparkle Pipsy has a full Sailor Fuku tutorial. Go look it up. But I took her original pattern for the arm rolls, which is 3 rolls. The original pattern has 3 inches and 1/4 of an inch. The 1/4 of the inch is for the seam allowance, and each inch is for each roll, because most girls have 3 rolls. Since Sailor Saturn only has 2 rolls on the bottom, we took 1 inch off. So this is 2 1/4 inches, and is folded in the middle, just like in the original pattern. We then tried to design a pointed part of the pattern for the 3rd roll. So I just basically just looked at the picture and tried to draw one out. You can do the same thing. Easiest usually to make it on one side, fold it in half, and cut it all out. You then cut out all the fabric and cut out some interfacing. We use some pretty heavyweight interfacing so it can be nice and poofy like it is here, nice and strong. Next thing, you take your interfacing and you attach it to the fabric. Just iron it on, and then you pin both of these together, and we will sew them. Okay, so we pinned it up. We're only going to sew the top, not the ends. And you'll just go all the way to the end. As you can see here, we have a very tiny seam allowance. You can obviously give yourself more to make it easier. Now you clip the corners and a little bit of the edging so it's out of the way when you turn it inside out. You've still got that interfacing on the other side. So you can see that little seam allowance a lot better. That's how close it is. There we go. Flip it inside out, and then we press it so that it is flat and pretty, which is a little annoying because you don't do the ends, because you want to be able to stuff in them later, just like you stuff the main part of the glove rolls. Stay. FYI, when sewing, if you don't already know this, the iron is your friend. Just try to get it to lay down on itself. This is why clipping the ends and all around the edge is best. It makes it easier to fold it without it trying to be difficult. You want the 2 edges from each side to be as close together as possible. We had issues with the first one not sewing well.
Like 4 more hands.
I know, right? Just could pin it. There we go. Now the original one we put a little stuffing in it, but I found that I probably really didn't need to do that.
You didn't stuff the other one?
I did put a little stuffing in it, but I really didn't need it because I ended up stuffing more into it later and it was fine. So you don't really need to put any stuffing in it right now. Next you take your main pattern and you put it inside. Flip it over inside of it, and you have to line up all the edges and make sure they're as close as humanly possible, because you don't want to miss one when you sew this all together. Which is why we ironed the hell out of it. What if ironing that part would be easier?
This one?
Yeah.
You can find it.
It might help it a little.
Oh, well. Might have made a crease.
Yeah, we can fix it later. Before we sew. Or before we stuff. And now you pin. I originally gave my point pattern about a 1/4 inch seam allowance, but then I didn't think about stuffing, and it's probably just enough space for stuffing, so it probably should have been a little bigger of an allowance there. So it could have hung out.
I can make it bigger, because
Right.
that would save less error.
Right.
Okay.
Ta! And then we sew again.
Oh, usually so. Get my could do an inch.
About an inch seam allowance there.
I should trim this before I flip it?
I would trim a bit, yeah. It's a lot now. I'm gonna trim. Looks like it went all the way through, which is good.
Yeah, just doing a double check.
Yeah.
'Cause it's easier to unpick it now
Yeah.
than having to flip it twice. Looks good. Just don't cut the...
Yeah, don't cut your string. Don't cut your nice hem there. Now we turn it inside out.
Using helpful pair of hemostats. Or
Clamps. Clamps. Those are also very good for stuffing, by the way.
Just gently turn inside out.
Will you grab the one end?
Yep, I just shoved a bit of the fabric, enough so that it doesn't tear,
Mhm.
like the little teeth don't tear the fabric, and just kind of ease it into itself.
You don't grab onto the tip part, right?
The tip part?
The inside.
Nope.
The inside fabric part, right?
No, I just grabbed the end.
There we go.
Voila.
voila.
And give it a pass.
Now we press it, because it's all wrinkly now. You try to pull it as much as possible.
Okay.
And then you sew down the middle of that part to get your 2 rolls. And then you stuff.
I usually eyeball it, but feel free to pin or mark it with a pen or
So
do
you know
whatever
exactly where the middle is, yeah.
Yeah. I usually use my foot.
Ah, yes. Mm-hmm.
Alright. So you have your 2 channels.
Yep, you got your 2 little holes. You put all your stuff in through. And then you got a little hole for the top part to stuff that as well. Mm-hmm. So it ends up looking like this. From that to that. You stuff it up. And then you can either do how Sparkle Pipsy does it, which is a special kind of stitch when you roll them over, or what we did, which is we just rolled it over and sewed it together and turned it inside out.
Yeah, you
Just
just
like that.
and just do a straight stitch down the it,
Turn it
trim
inside
it
out and trim it.
and then flip it.
And it looks great. So, voila! There are Sailor Saturn's arm rolls. Aren't they beautiful?
And then you just glue them.
Just
See the glove? Or not glue, stitching.
gluing wouldn't work. You can see how they would look. Ta-da! Nice little point. Doesn't that look awesome? Yay! All right, thanks everybody. Bye.